Hi everyone and welcome back. So in this final video of this section, we'll be looking at some advanced data manipulation and analysis in Excel using Python. So what we'll do is we'll use a lot of the pandas manipulations that we studied in the previous videos, and the main thing that we'll look at is how to take those results that we computed from a lot of things before and how to integrate those results into Excel. So let's start with some examples that we have already looked at in some previous videos. And starting off, let's start with filtering and sorting data. So let me just add a code block here and I'll do a simple thing. So let's start with pandas. I'll import pandas as PD and then let me copy a data set. So let me take a data set. In this case, this is my data. And what I'll do is df.pd. I'll convert this data set. So this is a dictionary. What I'll do is I'll create a data frame out of it. df is equals to pd dot data frame of data. So I've created this data frame and let me just run this one. Perfect. So we have seen how we can filter data out of the data frame. Let's say I want to create a filtered data frame. So I'll just create field df is equals to df, and I want to, let's say, filter out on sales. So I'll do df sales, and I want to give it, let's say, greater than 150, right? So I'll do this and let me just do a field df dot head, and there you go. So we have filtered all the cases where the sales is greater than 150. And now if I have to sort this, the way we have seen we can sort is just by using something called sort. Let's say, let me define a new data frame, sort df, which is fill df dot sort values by is equals to sales, and ascending is equals to, let's say in this case I want to sort descending, so I'll give ascending equal to false, sort df dot head, and there you go. Let's look at one example of grouping. So let's say I want to do a group by. The way I can define a group by is, let me define a group by in this case. So I'll say group df is equals to, in this case what I'm performing is, let's say we want to perform a product level group by and do a total of all the sales for that product. So let's say I do a group by on product, group by product, and what I want to do next is take the sales, and for sales I want to add all the sales. So I'll do sales dot sum, and let's also reset the index. So I'll say reset index, and that's it. So let's show our df group df dot head, and there we go. So product A, B, and C. So we did a group by on product, and we did a sum of sales for all the cases, and we also did, what we did was we said, okay, redefine these index from 0 to 2, right? So that's a group by, again, nothing new. So let's look at one new example. We have done a lot of manipulation of data using pandas. So let's try to do a linear regression. And in this case, what I'll do is I'll try to install a new library first, pip install stats models. Now this is a library in which you can use a lot of statistical models. Let me install this one. Okay, this is getting downloaded. This is installing, and that's it. So it has successfully installed these. In order for me to use these packages, I'll need to restart kernel. So let me do that. I'll restart. Perfect. So let's say I want to use this. I'll import stats models dot API as SM. Let me define one new column as advertising budget. Now the way I can define this is I'm just going to give it a random int, randint, and I'll say 50, and I'll say 50 300 comma df dot shape 0. Okay, so let me just define a new column with random integer values, and I'm running this npo import numpy as np, and let's do it again. And I've restarted my kernel, so I'll just do this. I'll run this cell, and let's do this again. Perfect. So let's just do df.head. So now we have a random int defined for advertising budget. And what I'm going to do is, let me just do a regression, a linear regression on advertising budget and sales. So what is the impact of advertising budget and sales? So let's just model it out. I'll define variables x and y. I'll define variables x and y in this case as advertising budget and sales. And I'll add a constant to my independent variable, which is x in this case. So x is equals to sm dot add constant. And let's fit the regression model by using stats model library. The way we can do that is we can define model is equals to sm dot ols y comma x dot fit and then regression summary. So let's do this. So we have a lot of regression summary based on this particular data. And what we can do is, again, now this is not that important. So the processing that we did, now this is a statistical library. We didn't go much into the details of it. We just used some syntax and borrowed some built-in functions to do a regression analysis on two series, in this case sales and advertising budget. But in case you have a lot of this analysis, the key thing that I want to take away from this video is how you can write all of that to your Excel or append these results to your Excel. So let's look at the way in which we can write our results. And this is with the advanced Excel writer. So we created a few things in the above. We created a group DF, we created a filtered DF and a sorted DF. So what I'm going to do is I'll create a new Excel sheet and I'll open that with pd.excel writer, advanced Excel as writer, group df.excel. So first I'm going to take group df and write it in a sheet called group sales, and then an index is equals to false. So I'm saying don't make the first column as your index column. And then the next thing that I'm going to do is I can also write sort df. In the same way, I can just do a sort df, the one that we sorted. And I want to do, again, let me just redefine these because I had refreshed my kernel. So let me just say, okay, perfect. Now sort df is sorted sales and index is false. So you can keep adding these sheets. So let's say you did a lot of processing on your data and created multiple data frames as output. You can put them all in one single workbook by doing something like this. And let me execute this. Perfect. So now we can check this. So it's somewhere here. And if I go ahead and download this one, I can open this. Perfect. So I have this open and we have the first one as grouped sales. Notice there's no index. And then the second one is sorted sales. So you have sales sorted in descending order. And that's what we wanted. Now let's look at how we can add the regression result. So let me add a code block and then we'll visit on how we can understand this particular code. So there you go, and there you go. So I will go ahead. So what I did is I created a regression DF by taking this regression summaries as HTML and I put it in a DF, and now I'm adding this in a data frame that I can add as a different sheet in my existing workbook. Let's execute this one. Oh, the append mode is not supported. Let me override this one. Okay, perfect. Now I have this new sheet. Let me download this, and there we go. There we have it. So this way I've just added the results of my regression into this sheet. Now notice one thing, that the sheet got overwritten, and that is because Excel Writer did not allow me to have an append mode. Now when I was trying to do A here, notice at the error. So it's the value error that's coming is using XLSX Writer. But if you look carefully, nowhere in this example we were using XLSX Writer. We just used pandas, and we are using a built-in function of pandas. So that means pandas on the back end uses XLSX writer to optimize and write files. So Excel writer, the function Excel writer in pandas uses XLSX writer module for itself in order to write these. So that means pandas is more general and is trying to optimize for these things on its backend on its own. So another thing that we can take care of is when we are calling this function pd.excelWriter, make sure to have all your data ready so that at once you can give all the sheets, all the data frames, and convert it to different spreadsheets in the same workbook, because it will not allow you to append in an existing one. And why will it not allow to append in existing one? We know that this on backend uses XLSX writer, and we know XLSX writer is built only for creating new spreadsheets. Okay, so there we have it. So that's what I wanted to illustrate with this video. You can do a lot of processing, be it with pandas, or if you're doing statistical processing, you can use something called as stats models, in which you have all the built-in models, and then you can integrate those results very easily into Excel. You can create a new notebook, you can create that workbook, and have those spreadsheets laid out and write those results into Excel. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next video.